Well, let's say you're a responsible adult. Who would you fire as part of that medical team? Okay, and it's a medical team in relation to me as a patient. Okay, and of course, I'm part of the medical team. And in fact, I'm the most influential one, right? Because I can either do research or not. I could either show up for this or not. I could either make an effort to explain something or not, or deliver samples or not, or be argumentative or not, or be patient or not, and I could care or not about my own medical well-being. But the thing is when you get the majority of healthcare professionals like doctors who not only don't have the schemas to be able to reference others, but they don't want to get those schemas. They don't want to even acknowledge they're missing the schemas to be, let's say, patient-centered or understand the foundation of the Hippocratic Oath. So for me, I read, I think, in another vlog, the letter, and this is the response from Dr. Hiba Garas. Now, it says at the bottom of both pages, and it could have been made to be one page. Come on, it's a waste of paper. It's just a signature on the other page. Like you couldn't move the space at the top. Come on, what's the effort you put in here? It says at the bottom, confidential, do not distribute. Yeah, like who's this meant for? Is it like the administrative office staff shouldn't make photocopies and give one to everybody? Like, what does it mean? Does it mean I'm not supposed to talk about it as a responsible member of my medical team? I live a transparent life. That's part of my worldview, my values. Of course I'm going to talk about this. Thank you for your letter dated April 30th, 2026. I'm sorry to hear that your experience with our clinic did not meet your expectations. Patient care and professionalism are priorities for our practice, and your concerns are taken seriously. Well, okay, so it starts with BS. Because if it was, they'd want to meet with me and say, can you give us more information, what you mean, what went wrong, what you felt disappointed in, and of course, there's no signs of them caring to know more about how, it felt like for me or how they can get better, right? Regarding your requests, we are happy to refund you, but we will be discarding the medical you partially completed. You can request a new form from Service BC. Give me more work again. And then they're thinking, is this guy trying a whole bunch of doctors and nobody wants to pass him? So in a way, your flaws impact me and my reputation and my identity negatively. Can you grasp that? Can you reference others, like patients? Copies of your medical records can be provided upon formal request. Please contact the front desk to complete the appropriate authorization process. With respect to your ongoing care, you are free to seek medical services with another provider at any time. Okay, but it doesn't say we won't give you a different doctor at our clinic because you criticized us and our childlike feelings. I can't deal with it, right? Should you have any urgent medical concerns, please seek care through appropriate services, including emergency care if needed. So they're covering their bum-bums here. We wish you the best in your ongoing health care. Of course, it's not true. If it was, they would have said, did you know there's also these other clinics in town? Because I have to probe for things all the time, right? And here's their contact information. That would show signs they care. No, it's not included. I would advise you register on Health Connect to be on a wait list for a new family doctor, which might take, I don't know, a year. You can do this by calling 811 or going to the website. Upon receipt of your written authorization, I will transfer your medical records to a physician of your choice. So here it's signed just by her. Okay, that's it. That's it. There's no, she doesn't mention the medicine. She might assume that I haven't taken any because there's no, there's assumptions. There's no ability to communicate and listen and incorporate, a patient as part of their medical team. Anyways, I went to the pharmacy after, and the dark-skinned, lovely, nice, intelligent lady there, she answered a lot of questions. Like some of the things is it's still not covered shingles, so I'd have to pay $212 twice. So that means I'm really upset that Canada does this, right? It kind of believes its own beaver shite. It passes it on. People think we have universal health care when we most certainly do not. And CBC will say we have it. But they'll also have guests that talk about things that shows we don't. But nobody says, hey, does that mean we don't really have universal health care? Of course we don't. My God, there's so much beaver shite, and it's passed on to the rest of the world that want to come to Canada. Then they get screwed by our immigration system and see, yeah, no, they don't have universal health care either, because if they did, things would go in this way, right? There'd be a uniformity, there'd be an equality in this way, and there'd be competence, right? That means doctors aren't bullies, really is what they are, is you can't disagree with them, or you can't even ask questions. Some of them get defensive if you ask a question. You know, they're so childlike, immature, and they're so addicted to their own power, right, over our lives that you know they just demonstrate they don't care. So I went to the pharmacist, and I after talking to the pharmacist, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make an appointment with the virtual health clinic in about a week, because my blood pressure was still high, and it'd been 2 weeks since I've been on a medicine, and so maybe in a week, it'll be 3 weeks, they'll be giving that medicine a good chance. And I'd also been doing my own research, because there's a lot of different types of blood pressure medicine, and I can't ask this doctor why she chose that one, because she would think I'm argumentative by asking questions, you know, as part of my own medical team. And you know, it's really ridiculous that we give that much respect or authority to people that are not really able to reference others like they should in that profession, that aren't able to give or receive feedback or even want feedback or evaluations of themselves, and that give up so easily on patients by getting a little bit of critical feedback. You know, like, how much do you care about patients if you're that quick to say, oh yeah, go back on 811 and yeah, it's too bad that you think we didn't take good care of you, because we believe we do have these values, except that we can't walk the talk or demonstrate them in a practical way. So aside from going to the pharmacy to do my own medical team work, is I also booked that virtual clinic appointment. And again, I can't get a straight answer on whether I did get a diagnosis. I am on a waiting list for something related to kidneys or lupus or whatever. And when I filled out the Health Connect, it doesn't ask what territory, it just asks for my address. And it does say whether, you know, this is a shelter or you know, a homeless camp or whatever, what is the area. Because they want to put me in that area, and I can't even say, don't put me under Northern Health. I will move to a different part of BC happily, you know, if there's a doctor of quality that I can interview on the phone, just to be sure that person would work with me. They wouldn't be the problem, that medical doctor, as part of the medical team. They wouldn't be somebody else that I have to fire. And when I fire people, it's not like I'm having a bad day, people. I document it. I document the reasons. And if that doesn't matter to you, again, you know, who's the worst off? Who's more unwell? The patient who works hard to try to get medical care of quality, or the doctors who don't care, that want to do things their way without a scientific basis behind it?